There is a Colin Powell, there's a Mike Bloomberg, there's a Barack Obama, there's an Albert Einstein, and we'll never know. That's what we're losing.
J.P. Morgan Chase Chairman and CEO Jamie Dimon is heading the
Hello,
Exchange Initiative.
bro.
He's also chairman of the Business Roundtable, the nation's
What a
largest
collaboration we're going to
leaders.
have.
He serves on President-elect Donald Trump's Strategic and Policy Forum, and in the interest of full disclosure, he's a friend of mine, and I occasionally do interviews with big deal people.
Occasionally?
Tell me, you have a strong initiative within J.P. Morgan to employ veterans.
Yeah.
What's this about?
Yeah, so first of all, I want to say I'm happy to be here. You're also a friend of mine. Charlie's one class act, for those who don't know him personally, and happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
We started this effort years ago called the 100,000 Jobs Effort for Veterans, and we've hired now, not J.P. Morgan, it's like 200 companies, 300,000 vets. It's now the million jobs mission, and I think we're going to get there. So vets are trained. They're teamwork players. They know what to do. They don't even know their own skills.
Triple R.
They could be in logistics, supply, network, communications. So it's a great effort to take, the citizens that we hold in the highest regard and get them jobs.
But now you started this new program about a year ago, and you're going after high school students.
Yeah.
Especially at a time when they're really searching, trying to figure out, what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do for their lives?
There is an economic and moral imperative in this country that we get jobs for kids, and we have too many kids, particularly in inner city schools, who don't graduate. If they do graduate from high school, they're not qualified for a job. So this is all the things they need, from social skills to specific skills, to get kids jobs: radiology, aviation, coding. There are going to be 16 million jobs available in the next 7 or 8 years or something like that. And these kids want jobs, and these are middle class jobs. These jobs pay $40,000 to $60,000 a year. So corporate, and it has to be done with companies and government. It cannot be done by one or the other.
Why does it matter to you, Jamie Dimon? Because you could do anything with anybody. As Charlie said, you know a lot of important people.
Big companies are very philanthropic,
Yeah.
but we're all invested in having communities that work for everybody. If America thrives and the cities are healthy and everything else, that's better for all of us. It's better for business. It's better for social. It's better for families. So I said it's a moral imperative. I would do it for that reason alone, but it's also an economic imperative.
Nice.
America needs to compete around the world, and if we don't have quality trained employees, we're not going to compete as well.
Are you suggesting that public-private partnerships are a way to go?
Nice.
I think when it comes to this, it has to be public, private, and local. So the jobs you need in San Francisco are different than the jobs you need in New York. Montefiore needs phlebotomists and radiologists. Certain parts of the city. I was in Focus Hope, in Detroit, where they need machine control operators. And these are tough jobs.
But Donald Trump said he's going to be the greatest jobs producer God ever created. Can you top that?
I hope he's right.
Yeah.
So, how is Donald Trump going to affect business, and what would you like to see from Donald Trump with perspective?
I'm going to be very pro for a second before I'm going to say the best person to read about Donald Trump is my daughter, who writes for the Daily News.
Laura Dimon.
Laura Dimon, who was in the paper this morning. And
a loving father.
Thank you, my friend.
A worthy profession, journalism.
Yeah.
A word, which I think
That's
is very
delicious.
It needs to be done well. And
What page is it on, Jamie? What page is our article on?
Page 3 of 5.
Oh, you happen to know? Okay.
And it was about some things he said yesterday.
So what do you want to see from a president?
It is any president. It is important that we have a healthy, vibrant economy.
Okay.
It's important for jobs. It's important for business. It's important for middle class wages. It's important for low skilled wages. And I'm hoping that a lot of the policy they're talking around, because they're talking about tax reform, which we desperately need.
Nice.
And that's probably the most important thing.
Nice.
A whole bunch of other series of things like infrastructure.
But do you agree with his opinions on trade?
You are listening, Barack.
Not really, but I think his opinions so far have been, one-liners, and he's quite clear when you read The Art of the Deal and stuff like that he takes an extreme position, but he's hired a lot of professional people. He's putting on the playing field, people that are experienced, successful, smart, patriotic, and then they got to get to the detail. It's going to be a lot of detail: trade, tax, and.
Did he talk to you about being Treasury Secretary?
A full battery and that?
I've not offered the job. I've never thought I was suited.
You're going to die in a box.
Contact with them, and I'm thrilled with what I'm doing. I haven't finished what I'm doing at J.P. Morgan Chase, the Business Roundtable, and.
Let me ask you specifically.
I know Steve Mnuchin, and I think he's quite qualified. He's very smart. He wants to do the right thing. He knows them quite well, so I think they're forming.
And Rex Tillerson?
Rex Tillerson is a class act. Again, he's smart and he's patriotic. I listened to some of the press about, that he had dealings in Russia. Well, almost every big company is dealing in Russia. That doesn't mean he's not a patriot. I wouldn't question a man's patriotism like that. And the other thing is people talk about that they're successful. It's counterfactual.
More.
Do you want to have unsuccessful people in these jobs?
Put more money in our bank
Measure
account.
so successful, experienced, respected by everybody who deals with around the world.
More.
Pretty good traits.
I want to get your take, though, on globalism or anti-globalism. One of the things Donald Trump said yesterday was that companies that move jobs outside the U.S. will face a, quote, very large border tax. Are you worried about trade? How it affect the economy?
Not. You know, again, I'm looking past the one-liners and thinking about what's important for America. So, a lot of us do business all around the world. Part of America's competitiveness is because we have Microsoft, because we have Boeing, because we have J.P. Morgan Chase, and we have to educate the world the importance of that. But there are downsides, you know. So in this election, and I guess around the world, you've seen people recognizing there are downsides to trade. There are people have been hurt. So in general, it's been good. It's lifted 2 billion people in poverty. You know, there are towns in America have been devastated by it. We have to do a better job fixing that, meaning trade, this thing called trade assistance, so that if you get hurt by trade, relocation, re-education, business development, so that the people who are hurt are taken care of. I think we have to do all these various things.
Coming home, beautiful.
In America.
You're off to Davos next week, I assume.
Yes. Fortunately, but yes.
The president of China, Xi Jinping, will be there, and it's getting a lot of attention. And some are suggesting that China is now the leader of globalization, and the United States is seeming to be feeding populism and the resistance to what we know as globalization.
And look, I think it's good that he's going there. You know, China is a large country. It's so far behind the United States, it's not even funny. So, and I say that respectfully, you know, they have 500 million people living in poverty, none of food, water, energy. They don't have our wide, deep capital markets. They don't have our education system. They don't have our rule of law.
Nice.
Most of what we have are innovation capabilities. And again, I'm saying that respectfully to China. So it's
nice.
True. But, you know, I understand that China wants to rise up among the world and take its rightful place, and that's understandable. But it's very, in my personal opinion, it's very important that America maintain its superior economic position, which, by the way, is the root, is the foundation of the superior military position. They go hand in hand. And, you know, America has been so important for the growth of the world, the consistency of the world, the economic freedom of the world, the spread of democracy, that, you know, we shouldn't lose that. So we got.
Are you optimistic about the Trump presidency? How are you feeling about that?
I am.
Because?
Because he's putting professionals in the field.
No,
you know, if you want to win the game, put Tom Brady in the field. You want to lose the game.
Are you a Patriots fan too?
Partially, because Robert Kraft is a good friend of mine. And
let me just say.
And now the Giants out, I want them to win, yes.
What's essential for the United States, regardless of the presidency, to do to maintain its leadership?